All right, welcome to the second lesson for this week. As always, go ahead and pause the tape, work them through, and then come back and unpause. Number one, solve the following inequality. This is very similar to the problem we did in the last lesson. We box the variable because it's negative, which lets us know at the end of the problem, we're going to have to switch our sign around. So from here, we just solve it. We take 5 away, divide each side by -1, and the key being is that we flip the sign right here. Number two, to solve the following. 3 parentheses, -2a plus 4 parentheses equals 15. You take 12 away from both sides after you distribute. So you get -6a equals 3. After that, we're going to divide each side by -6. So when you do that on a calculator, it gives you -3/6 or -0.5. The reason that I'm going to spend a little more time here is on last week's assignment where you had to type in some problematic answers. Some people wrote things such as a equals -0.5 or a equals negative space, point, space, 5 space. The computer doesn't know what you're trying to do and mark these wrong. Any of the type in answers must be exactly like this or exactly like this. There are no a equals, x equals. That number can only be the answer. You can't have any variables in there. Number 3, John will roll a number cube labeled 1 through 6 twice. What is the probability of John rolling an even number and then rolling the number 5? Well, this is what we did yesterday. So the probability he rolls an even number is 3 out of 6 because there's 1, 2, 3 even numbers. So that's the first probability, and you see that right here. The second event is him rolling a number 5. Well, on a dice, there's only one number 5 out of 6 total choices. So when you do 3 6 times 1 6, it gives you 3/36, which is not an answer choice because it simplifies to 1/12, answer choice C. Number 4, what is the sum of the complement and a supplement to a 20-degree angle? This is just like the problem yesterday. So complement adds up to 90. So n plus 20 gives us 90, which means that the complement is 70. But that's not the answer. The supplement, n plus 20 equals 180. So n is 160. 160 is not the answer because it wants the sum of the complement and supplement. So the sum of 70 and 60, when you add those together, is 230. All right, today we're going to continue our work with probability. Here's the activator for today. It says, in a bag, there are 3 green marbles, 4 red, and 3 black marbles. What is the probability a student pulls out a black marble, puts it back, and then pulls out a red? And below it is a very similar problem. So to solve the first one, probability of getting a black marble, putting it back, and then getting a red marble. So there's 3 green out of 10 total times 4 red out of 10 total. That'll give you the probability, which is 12/100, and it would simplify down. The example right below this, though, is slightly different. So what your job is to pause the tape and see if you can figure out how to find the probability of this. Pause the tape now. Okay, here's the difference. It says, what's the probability a student pulls out a black marble? Okay, that's still 3 out of 10. But here's the key. Does not replace it, which means if they take a black marble out of that bag, now there's no longer 10 total marbles in there. There's only 9 because the one that they got is gone, and pulls out a red, which would give you 12 out of 90, which is different than the first event. And this is what we're going to be working through today. Probability with replacement or without replacement is the same as compound events. You find the probability of the first event times the probability of the second event. Go ahead and stop the tape and look at these two problems now.